Kenneth, attorney for Obergefell. My client James Obergefell is seeking recognition of his marriage to John Arthur, who are a couple of the same sex. My client decided to marry John Arthur on July 11 in Maryland in order to obtain legal recognition of their relationship. The state of Ohio doesn't recognize their marriage as a real, which is discrimination against same-sex couples who are married lawfully in other states. As his wife was terminally ill with ALS and sought a temporary restraining order requiring the Arthur's death certificate listed Obergefell as Arthur's surviving spouse. The district court granted the couple's TRO motion with respect to the death certificate and then issued a fair ruling holding that Ohio law barring recognition of same-sex marriages originating in the United States was unconstitutional. Another case in Ohio, David Michener and William Herbert, they married in Delaware. They had 3 adopted children. On August 27, William died unexpectedly in Cincinnati, Ohio. His remains were being held at a Cincinnati funeral home pending the issuance of a death certificate required before cremation. The deceased desired funeral rites. As surviving spouse, David Michener's name could not by Ohio law appear on their death certificate. In these cases, Ohio only accepted for them to have their name as living spouse in the death certificates, but still states that marriage from same sex from other states still deemed to be unconstitutional. No one should wait that long in order for the loved one in a funeral home just because the state sees that same-sex marriage is unconstitutional and their name can't be listed as spouse in the death certificate. My client should win because the ruling states that it violates the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment is equal protection of the law. It should protect any citizen living in the United States. Everyone is considered equal no matter the difference between people. Marriage should also be considered as equal no matter what type of relationship one is in. Marriage, by definition, is a union bond between 2 people. It doesn't specifically state that it has to be from opposite sex. Love isn't either stated by definition that has to be opposite sex as well. It just states that it has to be between 2 people. Nowhere in the amendment states that the same-sex marriage is prohibited and that it's unconstitutional. It doesn't state that marriage of the opposite sex is deemed as normal and that it's deemed the right way for one to follow. Under the amendment, everyone's equal, which means that everyone should be treated the same way, which making same-sex marriage as unconstitutional may be taken as an act of discrimination against people who are the same-sex couple. Why is marriage of the same sex deemed as unlawful and unconstitutional? How can choosing one's partner be deemed unconstitutional? Sex, gender shouldn't be part of one decision when making a decision about one's choices of whom to marry and spend their lives together. Isn't making same-sex marriage unconstitutional is considered discrimination? Discriminating against couples who are the same sex just because opposite sex is seen to be normal, right? There's an amendment in the Constitution that states that normal in marriage has to be opposite sex. Everyone should have the right to choose to whomever they want to be with. The government should interfere in the privacy of people with whom they want to marry and be with. The government shouldn't treat same-sex couples so different from people who are opposite-sex couples. The government cannot choose and make one whom to love and want. There aren't many precedents in this case. If we make this right, there would be a lot of people who wouldn't have to go through this when asking for legalization of marriage. People shouldn't have to go through this problem for their name to be stated as legal spouse. The rules and laws who are accepted for opposite sex should also be implemented for the people who are the same sex couples as well. No one has to go through this and be questioned for the legality of their marriage at all. Same-sex marriage couples should be constitutionally approved by all states because marriage is something that is a personal choice, and that one make and under the amendments is the choice of the people to make.